Hello friend, Alan here with StockMusicLicensing.com, bringing you the best tips and strategies for selling your music on royalty-free libraries. Alan is asking now, does it make a difference to sales for a track to be the exact length of 2 minutes or 3 minutes exactly, or it can be anything like 2 minutes and 17 seconds, etc. Now this is a good question. I think length doesn't play really a big role when it comes down to sales or not. You can have a track that is 1 minute and a half, or it could be 1 minute and 15 seconds. It doesn't really matter. You can certainly have tracks that are 3 minutes long, especially if you're on a different genres that requires this type of length. Like it could be a big cinematic track that requires a big build-up, or it could be EDM music where usually there's a lot of things happening in every cycle of change, if you will, like verse and choruses could take a big chunk of time. So I don't think there is such a thing as a rule when it comes down to the length of a track. My tracks back in the day, they used to be around 2 minutes to 2 minutes and a half. And that's just because of the way I will arrange the track in itself. And my tracks have a very predictable pattern when it came down to light pop rock slash corporate tracks, or even my acoustic work will follow the same pattern of intro, verse, chorus, a middle section or a breakdown, if you will, and then a chorus again, and then wrap it up towards the end. What I have noticed throughout the years is that my tracks have been reduced in time because I am able to tell that story in a shorter period of time, meaning that I can just get to the point faster. So nowadays, most of my tracks are 1 minute and a half. And that's just something that I didn't do consciously. This is just something that happened naturally. And I realized eventually that I don't need to go and make it any longer. I don't see any declines or increase in sales though with that. All right, this is not something that I don't think the client will say like, oh, it's too long or it's too short, because I think filmmakers and video makers, they can easily just use this track in their video editing software, and they can either duplicate it or just cut it in half, okay? And they will adjust that as they go along. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. I mean, if your tracks are 3 minutes long, so be it. But my biggest concern will be how quick are you getting to the point? You see, and meaning like in the very beginning, like, okay, the intro, those first few seconds is what's important, and then obviously, yes, the arrangement, but if you're able to keep the whole thing flowing in a natural way and be very interesting throughout 3 minutes, then well done to you. It shouldn't be a problem. It shouldn't be a problem at all. 2 minutes, 3 minutes, it's not the issue. The issue is what happens within that time frame. My tracks now, for whatever the reason, they just have been reduced to 1 minute and a half, and I find that that's my sweet spot. I have composed tracks actually lately that is a 2 minute track, and I found it something like, oh, it's a curious thing. Maybe I did something different with the arrangement, because I use kind of like the same template for my arrangements for all of my tracks, but I am flexible. I don't really obsess about this too much. So hopefully that's helpful to you. I would like to know actually what length your tracks are. Just leave a comment below, just out of curiosity, to see what how we work differently and how we arrange our tracks. And maybe some of you compose your tracks for 3 minutes or 2 minutes. It really depends. I would like to know about that. Leave a comment below and tell me what's the average length of your music tracks for stock libraries. Again, if you're new to music licensing or to royalty-free libraries, download my free guide, link in the description. And as always, rock and roll, and here's to your success.